All right, everyone. Welcome to another Brazos podcast, your favorite surfing podcast, I guess, with the most nonsensical people. Coruja with a new avatar, Coruja
It's a
Diao.
bigger one. It's a bigger one.
It's a yellow one. Oh my God, my dog just farted. I have a dog here, everybody. Because if you're watching us on YouTube, this is Molly. And she just dropped the stinkiest fart you can imagine. Woo.
Molly. Yeah, I know. That was
That's
Molly
it.
for sure, man.
No, man, I am proud of my farts. If it was me, I would have I would have I own them. I take a lot of pride of my work, but this was Molly's work, and she's only 3 months old. It's actually her birthday today. She was born on February 22nd. So yeah. So okay. So welcome everybody. This is episode 11. Um,
Here we
we
are.
are we are switching gears to slowly start on July. Event window opens on the 28th of May and closes on June 3rd. June 3rd. Jesus Christ. Uh, Coruja, I would say, don't you think it's a small window? It's only.
June 3rd. Are you sure?
I was just looking at it. Let me see.
Really? I was
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Let's see.
Let me check one
Oh,
thing.
June 6th. June 6th. You're
June
right.
6th. Okay, yeah.
June 6th. Yeah.
Yeah, because
that's decent.
they will have enough time, but then no day offs.
No day offs. Yeah. No, I think that sounds more reasonable. It's gonna be actually June 6th is my birthday, so that's cool.
Nice.
I am gonna be in Oceanside, trying to get a house, so that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, G9's coming up, so not a lot happening in the surfing world. We are gonna talk a little bit about the QS, the Challenger Series. We are going to talk about a little bit. We had our first transgender surfing women event. Her name is, I think her pronoun is her. I hope. If it's not, I apologize. Her name is Sasha. Where is it? Sasha Jane Lowerson.
Yeah,
So
I read about
yeah.
it, but it didn't have her name here ready. So sorry.
Yeah, no, me neither. I mean, she just changed her name a year ago, or a year or so ago, so maybe a little over a year. So we're gonna talk about that. But first of all, man, how are you doing? How's the surf where you are?
Well, I'm doing good. Just another post-COVID, second COVID
Oh yeah.
last week. So was
How
just.
was this one? Was it a little better than the other one?
Oh yes, it was pretty mild actually. The first one was much worse. Not that I got really bad, but I felt really shitty and tired, and
Yeah.
it took me like good a good week or maybe 10 days with symptoms, like mild symptoms, but still like a pain in the ass symptoms, because I hope YouTube doesn't cut our video for this.
Okay,
And
shit. Fuck you,
yeah,
YouTube.
I couldn't taste food or like smell
Yeah, the
anything.
whole thing.
I could fart like freely, just fart the whole day because couldn't. But yeah, this time I felt like it was 2 weeks ago on a Monday. I felt kind of tired in the morning, but a different kind of tired for nothing. And then my wrists started to hurt, and I was sure I had COVID again, because it happened the first time, and it's really weird, like, oh, it's hurting. And I was looking at both wrists, and they were not like hurt or anything. They were not hurt. I mean, I didn't have like physical problems for them to be uh, a pain, and I was like, okay. And then I started to figure out other symptoms, and then I had like a headache and a sore throat, and and this was day one. And then on day two, I felt little, when you have a little fever, and then it was like 37.4 Fahrenheit,
Oh
which
yeah.
is it's not even a fever, but
Oh, that's Celsius.
higher.
Celsius.
Yes, sorry, Celsius. Yeah, thank you. But still, it's higher than the normal temperature
Right.
I always have. So I was like, okay. So next day, I waited for the third day, and then Wednesday, I got the test and was positive, and that was it. Like for 2 days, I still had a little headache. Just for twice twice a day, maybe like around midday, and then around 7 or 8 at night, but very mild symptoms. And I was constantly talking to my doctor, and he just told me that if I didn't have any other symptoms by Sunday, I could just go out, after 7 days. And then Monday last week, I was free again. And it was a good week, man. Good waves, surfed some southeast reef breaks and point breaks here
Yeah.
around town. And now it's flat, but we have a good forecast for Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. East swell, it's kind of rare this time of year, and it's the
Yeah.
best direction for us. So let's see.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I had it in January. I had it, I'm pretty sure I got it flying back from Brazil to San Francisco because I arrived on a Friday and then I felt okay, not so great Saturday night, and then Sunday I got tested and tested positive.
No,
But it was mild too. Like I think it was for 3 or 4 days, but the weird thing is that I started having these chest pains like 2 weeks later. And then I went to the doctor. They said it was normal. It was just like, your rib cage was expanding, and I don't understand what it was. And then he's like, yeah, just take some meds and you'll be fine. And I was fine.
yeah,
So yeah, everybody here is getting again. There's a
yeah,
lot of people
same
getting
here,
again.
man.
Yeah, but like everybody's like very mild. The only people who are like getting in trouble or anything are people who are like, like hardcore Republicans that don't want to get vaccinated, and you know, and then for them, it's some people like that are getting more hospitalized and all that shit.
Yeah, but
But yeah,
even people vax or unvaccinated, they're just not having much
yeah,
trouble.
it's pretty much over
It's been
here. Like,
mild. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much over. Like at work, everybody's like back to the office. People who want to be in the office, they're back to the office, and yeah, it's getting there. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
let's
good.
talk about fun things. All right, so let's start with the like least exciting topic, which would be the QS. I mean, the Challenger Series, the Go Coast, bro. Uh, Very lackluster event. I thought, in a way, everybody was a little hungover from Margaret River. You know what I mean? Like Margaret River was
Yeah,
this very intense event, and then I felt like it was very low level of energy. Uh, I don't know how you feel about it, but any highlights, anything you want to point out? I don't have much. I watched a little bit of it, but like honestly, it was really boring. The days I was watching, the waves were super small. It was crappy. Four-man heats. I was catching the beginning of it, and yeah, nothing to write home about.
yeah. Like, listen, I love to watch contests at that site. At Gold Coast, at Snapper
Yeah,
Rocks. I really appreciate watch long point break waves like rippable and small. I mean, not like Margaret River where some guys were not comfortable. Like there, we could see like everyone was comfortable, and there were some moments that I was really, really enjoying to watch it. But some other times the waves were so slow, like few sets, few opportunities, and scoring was kind of weird for me sometimes, because and I know how hard it is to score long waves, point breaks, and not that it was wrong, but I was kind of confused. Maybe I was not ready for what they were doing, but the level of the performances they were like, man, I felt it a big, like a huge gap between the CT guys and the
Huge,
Challenger Series guys.
huge.
Even even like the guys that got dropped from CT, like Michaelani or let's say Leonardo Fioravanti, who served very well for a couple rounds, and we had like Callum Robson winning. It was a very predictable surfing, like no one was risking anything. It was very, it was kind of boring actually. Like
Yeah.
with all the respect for all surfers, but some guys there that got into the finals rounds, I don't think they have the level to be on CT. It's kind of scary. And now we're seeing the same at Manly Beach, but yeah, it was good in one side to see the Snapper Rocks event again. But the performance, I think maybe because it was the first event, the guys were not risking anything. It was kind of a very, very boring event, like surf wise.
Yeah, yeah. We can leave it at that. I feel the same way. There's not much to. I feel like Challenger Series gets exciting when it's like the last couple events, like the last two events or the last event when you see everyone's who's gonna make it or not. But yeah, overall, it's just like so many athletes, it just goes, and if the waves are not good, it just becomes really tedious.
Yeah.
But all right, bro. So G-Land coming up. I mean, we've been talking about G-Land for a while. I think everybody's excited. Gabriel is back. Uh, should be a Starlight event. I think there's not many big news there. I've seen some athletes on social media, on Instagram already, like they already there or near there, surfing in Indonesia and all those areas over there. But yeah, I mean, not much to add from my end besides that. I mean, I think right now we just need to wait for the event to start and just watch that and enjoy it and hope that I'm really hoping that the time zone differences is not too bad.
Yeah, that's one thing that we cannot really touch very honestly, I'd say, on our impressions on the events, because we don't get to watch the whole thing. And actually, we sometimes I like I fell asleep on my couch, watching, because it's like midnight, 11, and I usually go to bed kind of early. So that's hard, man. And
Yeah, no.
it's even like it's tiring, because if I go to sleep like 1 in the morning, which I did one day last week because I was watching the QS, and the next day is fine.
It's just
When you're
sluggish.
young, it's okay, but when you're almost 40,
But you know what's weird,
and
was that when you
I'm just looking here, because there's a really good heat now at Miami Beach, and the waves are perfect, like 2 to 3 foot, but just perfect beach break.
yeah, those
And
are fun.
then there's Michael Rodriguez. That's a guy, in my opinion, is gonna be back on the CT next year, because his surfing is just ridiculous, man. He's surfing so well, and now he's surfing against the Indonesian Olympian and great surfing star Rio Waida, and the guys are putting on a show. Like Mike Rodriguez has 8.17 already, and Rio Waida has a 7.17, and that's still more than 20 minutes to go. So
Dude,
I'm pretty
real
sure
item.
both guys are going to score like even more high scoring waves.
Real rider rips. One of the heats I watched from the Gold Coast event was him against Mateus G, and he
Yeah, it
was
was
killing
nice.
it. He was killing it.
Yeah.
He was like the best one in the heat he was on. Yeah, I love watching him surf. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets that spot to be back on the CT. But yeah, dude, there's not much to say. G-Land is coming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was going to talk about the forecast for G-Land, and then we already have the heats.
Oh, okay. That's a good
And
point.
that's something interesting that we can talk about. Like, it has been a lot of expectations, from the G-Land event, but then they canceled because of COVID thing and everything. And now it's gonna happen. That there are people there already. Like I saw Jadson Andrea just moved from Bali to there yesterday, and I saw a really good wave from Jack Robinson at Desert Point the other day. Like he got a maybe more than 10-second barrel, and guys are ripping there, man. We saw like
I know it's
Italo
gonna
and other
be
surfers,
it's gonna be incredible. I mean,
and they
like
are
if
so excited. So that's the thing that
yeah,
makes
if
me
the
happy because
I think
surfers are
it's
excited.
yeah, I think the this year it's like that's the event everybody wants to see. Like I think just because it hasn't been on the tour for so long and it's such a
Yeah,
famous wave of the surf world, so it's gonna be epic. And now, yeah, like you were mentioning about the heats. Uh, it's looking fun already because it's like now we have the cut right. So every heat has some pretty big names. Like I see that Rio. We're just talking about it. I see like Rio Waida is going to be on a heat with Felipe Toledo and Ed Young. That should be a fun one to watch. Uh,
yeah.
it's
See
just like
the Jack Robinson heat, man.
yeah,
Three guys that they're capable of scoring very good scores.
yeah,
Even Jadson that's on the bottom of the rankings. If he
totally. And
gets if he gets a barrel there, man, he can get a 10 because he's so good in the barrel.
yeah, and it's so weird to see. Like I'm looking at the schedule, and it's so weird to see just 8 heats. And I'm like, what? Just eight, eight
Yeah,
heats, and that would justify
yeah.
like the window being smaller too. Like it's gonna be a really short event. They can probably run it in like 1 or 2 days, right?
No, not actually, not really, because I was gonna tell you about the new
Oh, the
format
tide.
and the
Oh,
tide, but the new format now,
okay,
and that's important. Like take note, take note.
okay,
Now only the first surfer on each heat qualifies for the third round, not two surfers. So the first
yeah,
one goes straight to the third round, and then two guys go to the second round, and then we
which is the
have
elimination round.
yeah, and then the elimination round has eight heats again, man on man, and then the first one, of course, goes through, and then the second one just it's over, and then in the end is 17th place. So and then we get another round with 8 heats again. So we have eight, eight, eight. So first 3 rounds we have 24
Ah,
heats. That's a lot of heats. And
that
then
makes sense. Okay,
we have from 8 we have 4, 2, and 1, of course. So
yeah,
and with the ladies it's half. We have 4 heats, 4 heats, 4 heats, and then 2 and 1. So of course
yeah,
we have
and just
less heats. It's
clarifying,
gonna be faster, but that's different.
just clarifying, the elimination round is going to be man on man heats, right? It's not third
Man on
party.
man, yeah, head to
Okay,
head, woman, woman, man on man,
so
and one thing that's going to be interesting, it's the first round is going to be more exciting because um, no one is going to hold or try to hold second place. Everyone is going to try to do their best and fight until the end to get first
yeah,
place.
it's more exciting.
So yeah, so second place means nothing.
Yeah, that's dope. Uh, anyway, that's super cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new format. I think the man on man thing is going to be insane. Can't wait to see Gabriel back. Obviously, everybody wants to see how he's going to doing, and I think he got a pretty interesting heat too. It's going to be him, Callum Robson, and Seth Moniz. It's going to be, I mean, if 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 he's on fire, he should have no problem coming out of that heat. But those, especially
Yeah,
Seth in that kind of wave like G-Land could be really dangerous. And Callum being a rookie, it's like anything
yeah,
can
we
happen
don't
with him.
we haven't seen him surfing this kind of waves. We
Yeah.
saw him doing good on right-hander point breaks with a very regular surf, not
Hmm.
not explosive or innovative or anything, just strong power and regular, not falling and being very clutch when it mattered. So now we're gonna watch him surf a reef break, barely left, and I don't know what to expect actually.
Yeah.
Maybe he can
I just hope
surprise us,
he
but I think Gabriel's clear favorite.
Yeah. I hope Callum gets a sponsor because he was surfing with
Oh
Whiteboard.
yeah. Oh
Isn't
yeah,
that
that's
cool?
the
But I mean,
guy.
if you think about it, though, it's kind of like amazing that surfing is one of those last few sports that we see that stuff. You know, you can have like completely amateur. I mean, and when I
Hmm.
say amateur, I mean not level wise, right? Because obviously he made the cut. He has every right to be there.
Oh, for sure.
And but like amateur in the sense like no sponsors. It's like wow, it's like every guy
But
is there giving it.
It's the same with like Michael Rodriguez now. Guy,
Yeah.
I was talking to him the other day. I know him for a couple of years, and I was talking to him and yesterday, and he was like so relieved, and he said, "Man, I'm so relieved to make through this round because now I know that I'm getting a couple points that are important. Of course, he said he wants to go all the way to the final and win the whole thing. But he said that with this round of the 16th, he already gets the money that he spent there,
He
things like
breaks
that.
even.
So
He
imagine,
breaks even.
yeah, he
Yeah.
breaks even. That's
Yeah.
true. So imagine that, man. You're a professional surfer, and the pressure that
Right.
you have on your back is not only the result itself. No, man, he's gonna get a 10. That's
You're watching the heat.
man. Yeah, I'm watching the heat. I think I no, not a 10, but it's actually I haven't watched the heat prior to this one to see how the judges are scoring. But this wave, it's for sure more than 8 points.
It's
It's an
excellent
excellent,
range. Yeah,
it's
excellent.
excellent range, man. He did like one, wow, second one, wow, and the board is plain white. There's no stickers, you know.
See,
He has it's
my
nothing.
point is more like in the Challenger series in the QS, it's not that uncommon to see it, right? That's what
But
I'm
that's
saying.
even worse because the guys they don't make money, man. They need to make like a quarterfinal to break even
No,
sometimes.
I agree. I agree with you, but like from a sponsor point of view, right?
Oh
If
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. It's
like
more
you get a
common for
lot
sure.
it's a you get a lot more visibility on this on the CT. I'm just so old school. You
Yeah,
know,
sure.
yeah, on the main on the World Surf League, right?
Nine
So
point
it's like
five, okay? 9.5.
you called
That's the
it.
score. Yeah.
I'm
I said 10, but yeah, it's a
I'm
9.5.
sure sir, I'm sure some judge gave him a 10. But yeah, so it's gonna be crazy. So I just hope he gets a sponsor. Like it's weird. Like it's crazy because you have like surfers like Italo or Gabriel, and their surfboards are kind of like
With 10
race.
stickers.
Yeah, they have
10
NASCAR.
stickers.
It's like NASCAR, you know, like NASCAR when they have like the cards
Same.
all like same
And there's
thing.
like not only like Rip Curl, he has like they have
Audi,
Red Bull, Audi,
yeah,
Bradesco, you know, like
yeah,
banks
like Banks. So everyone,
and
just so everyone knows, Bradesco is like an equivalent to like Citibank, Chase, Bank of America, all of
yeah,
those
it's the biggest in
big,
Brazil. Like they
yeah,
had like the other day they announced the profits were like trillions of reais, you know, in
yeah,
3 months. So it's ridiculous. But
yeah.
yeah, uh, and then just to finish Gilan, wow, sorry guys. Oh, fuck, Rio wide now, man, another high score. It's I told you 2 turns, not four, but bigger wave. I give him 8.8, maybe a nine,
Yeah. And those are
maybe
two
a
excellent
nine,
surfers. Yeah.
maybe a nine, man. I tell you,
Yeah. It's gonna be
it's a
a
bigger
awesome
wave,
one.
and the first turn was just so perfect. Wow. Sorry, I had to stop again. Yeah, it's a nine for sure. For me, it's a nine. So 9.5, and now we're gonna see a nine, and then we have a hit on our hands. But yeah, and then going back to G-Land, there's another hit that caught my attention, and that's Italo Ferreira, Caio
Caio
Bailey, and
Belli.
Matthew McGillivray, because Italo and Caio are very good barrel riders, and like we we know how good they do on turns, and we saw Caio doing so well in the past at chokes and places like that, so we can expect him bringing a good fight with Italo, man.
Yeah, and Miguel and Samuel too. It's gonna be,
Yeah,
every time
that's
there's
a
two
fun one.
brothers. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's sometimes two brothers. And Baron is gonna be fun to watch too. I think Hawaiians like love waves like that, so I think it should be fun. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Uh, and dude, like let's move on to our probably most controversial topic we ever talked about here on the podcast. So
Just to
uh
finish, we have the score.
yeah, tell me.
It's a 9.
WSL, if you're listening, Kurusha needs a
Yeah,
new job. He's
yeah,
here.
man.
Just give him a
They know
call.
me. They know that I'm here. They
Yeah.
know they know my job. They know how it works.
They watch
But yeah,
Brazos every time. That's like all those 3, 4 views that we get, they're all WCL please.
maybe, last
So
year they used to watch the Combi do Coruja, so why not
yeah,
this one?
man. So what are you waiting
So,
for? We have a pro here. And if you need water commentary, I know how to paddle. I know how to duck dive.
that's
I
good,
can
man.
I can speak 3 languages.
Wow, man,
Uh,
that's I'm gonna have to close this window here because it's not helping us to go
yeah.
through the.
Let's focus, bro. Let's focus.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Because our listeners and watchers are not watching.
Yeah, that's
But
it. But they can go back there and watch this heat recap later. Just do it.
yeah. All right, cool, man. Anything to add about G-Land?
No, no, that's it. I think that's it. That's it.
All
Like
right.
on the ladies' side, there's so few girls that I call Tatiana Weston Webb as a favorite alongside Johan Defay,
The,
and that's
the
all.
the classics. Yeah, the classics. But cool. So all right. So this past week we had a big controversy on the surf world, which is not exclusive to the surfing world. It's something that has been happening, in different sports in Brazil. That has happened with in volleyball, professional volleyball, and then it's happening in like swimming, and here in America, it's happening
In
everywhere in different
Australia,
levels. Yeah, in Australia, which was okay. So, transgender longboarding champion Sasha Jane Lowerson. So Sasha was born a male. She considered herself a male until, and I again, Sasha or anyone there, if that's not her correct pronoun, I'm sorry, I just don't know. But I'm trying my best here. Sasha won her first event, and she was a man until 2 years ago when she started hormone treatment. And she was a champion within the men's surfing. Like she won events in longboarding world, and she's an excellent longboarder, regardless of her gender. She's a great surfer. But this time, she transitioned to to being a woman, and she completely dominated the event. She won hands down, had like the best scores, and there's a lot of controversy. A lot of the female participants of the event were very upset that she was competing against them, which is happens in other sports. And I read Sasha's interview with Stab on Stab Premium, and she was saying that her testosterone levels were actually below the normal levels of a woman. Therefore, she was having no advantage for being transgender or for being born a male, which jumps into biology. Obviously, I'm not a biologist or a clinical doctor, and neither is Karuja. But I feel like it's okay. So first, before I pass the ball to you, I just want to make it how I see this whole situation. Right. First of all, I want to make it very clear that I am pro transgender. I think if you want to be a transgender person, I think if you were born a male or a female and you're not happy with your body or who you are, I think you should go for it and transition. I have no problems with that. I also particularly have no problems with transgender using whatever their chose gender bathrooms is. I think I have no problems with that. I know some people do. But with sports, I think it's a little different, right? I think it's a little unfair. Uh, and it's not just about testosterone levels, right? It's about shoulder to hip ratio. It's about how your body went through puberty and how you grow up, how you develop. bigger muscles. So it is in sports that demand a lot of strength and explosion, like surfing. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference if you were got an insane amount of testosterone on your teams or if you're not. And it's visible. Like you see on the event, like on surfing, like, yeah, we have women that surf amazing and they're incredible athletes. They surf way better than I would ever surf, or most men will ever surf. But like when we get a comparison between a male athlete and a female athlete, like a Carissa Moore and a John John, or a Carissa Moore or a Gabriel Medina, it's visible, right? And that happens in soccer, that happens in volleyball, that happens in swimming. It's like it's unfair. It's unfair. So I think, unfortunately, there is no right situation, no right solution for this. There's no perfect solution. I think, unfortunately, if you are a transgender female that used to be a male, in my opinion, you should compete with other men. Because it's like, and for the other way around, if you're a female and you're transitioning to male, you also have an unfair advantage because you have more testosterone than the other girls. So maybe you should always also compete only with men, because we want to make it as fair as possible, right? So I don't know, man. Well, how do you see this whole situation?
I think you just explained everything I have in my mind, like I'm pro everything you said, I'm pro people being whatever they choose to be. And I really have to be careful to talk about this because if I sound disrespectful
Right,
in
right, right,
anything
right. Yeah,
that I say, it's not
it's delicate
because
topic. It's
yeah,
delicate topic.
because there's so many things around this topic and around this theme that it's kind of hard to express yourself without hurting some feelings
Prejudice. Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally pro free choices and everything, and as you said, like people sometimes are born and they don't feel like that gender, they feel like the other gender.
Yeah, and it must suck, man. Can
At
you
some
imagine that? That must be horrible.
yeah,
That
and
must
then
be,
at some
yeah.
point of their lives they're just and I feel happy that some people can do that because there are millions of people that they can't, they cannot do it. They hide their personalities, they hide it from everyone, from their families, friends. They try to hide actually, and it's, man, must be so hard. And then I feel happy for those who really do it and go for it and like do changes and everything. And in the sport, it's not the same as you said. It's everything that you said, man. Not only testosterone levels, it's how your body is built. Like it's built since before even you're born. You have different. We have different types of bodies, and we saw that here in Brazil a couple years ago. There was a volleyball player. I don't remember
Tiffany.
her name. Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Man,
Yeah.
man, there
She's the
was
best
like,
player by far.
wow,
Yeah.
how hard she could spike the ball. How fast and strong and jump. Like nobody could block her. And then she was always like
The best player. Yeah.
maybe 80% of the attacks of her team was she
For
was
her.
attacking, she was
Yeah.
spiking, she was doing everything. And even the serve was so strong. Man, that was unfair. That was unfair. And then all the other athletes that were complaining about it, they were judged like, you're prejudiced, and
Yeah.
you
Or
don't, you this, you
transphobic,
that,
all those
that's
names. Yeah.
transphobic and everything. And
Yeah.
they were just trying to explain this thing, about, and then they even called doctors. And I feel like the correct team should be there, have their own league, but we know that's not
It's not enough.
possible
Yeah. It's not enough.
because there's not enough. Maybe in
Yeah.
some sports, some places. Here in Brazil, we already have some amateur soccer tournaments, but nothing professional. So I think these people, they feel like we cannot uh, tell that they should be competing amongst men because they don't belong there. They don't feel like they're men. and they're
Right,
not,
but
man, actually. So it's hard for them to, okay, so I
right,
understand, so
right.
I'm gonna play with these guys, but I'm not a guy like them. So
So
maybe physically I
here's
am, but it's hard, man.
the,
So
yeah.
so hard, yeah.
I just wanted to put like a small little parenthesis there. The reason why I think they should compete with men, it's because that's the only way I can see them competing with some kind of like. It's not because I think they're men and they should be always men forever. It's nothing like that. It's because like I definitely don't think they should be competing with women because it's unfair advantage, right? But then
Yeah.
it's either that or not competing. So like in regards of like I don't think they should not compete on anything. I think like them competing with men is like the best of all possible worlds, right? Like there's nothing more beyond that. And it's like and for those situations too, it's like you don't even need to call a doctor or a
No.
anatomy specialist. It's so plain visible, right? Like it's so plain visible. Like I remember when we were watching like the women's World Cup. I was commenting with a friend. I thought that the women's soccer field should be smaller, and like maybe the goals should be smaller because the game would be faster, right? Like the game is not doesn't have the same pace as men's, and maybe it could attract more view, especially the goalies, right? Like I'm pretty sure you've seen it. Like any ball that was like a
Yes.
little higher, they cannot jump as high. The goal was too big for
No,
them. It's hard. It's hard.
that's something that I don't know how those people that make the rules they cannot see, because we see that, it's,
Yeah, it's
man,
very self-evident.
I am like 5'6". I'm short,
Yeah,
170.
same. Yeah,
I played as a goalie one day because our goalie was got a red card, and I used to play as a futsal goalie,
yeah,
goalkeeper, which is okay because I was really good actually. So they called me because I was like I had experience playing as a goalie, and so short for that. But man, I didn't get any goals against because the other team was not good and they couldn't even kick a ball. But
and
man, it was so huge. Jumping
yeah, it's hard
straight,
even for a man. Yeah,
jumping straight, I could touch the bar, of course.
yeah,
Okay, no problem. Could just touch the bar, but if someone
but
kicked
diagonal, yeah,
diagonal, never.
yeah,
So I was like, wow, this
so
is
hard.
so big, man. And for them, like even if a girl is like 180, like 5'10 maybe. It's still short for the goal, and physically they cannot jump that high.
Yeah,
So of course I
and
agree. I totally agree with you. It should.
and Kalusha, there's another thing too. If you think about it too, like a lot of some sports, like for example, like volleyball and basketball, the basket is not as high. It's not as tall as men's. The
Yeah,
volleyball, the net is a little shorter than
yeah,
men's. So like, why soccer cannot do that? And like, and
yeah,
if you want to stretch to surfing, right? Women's equipment is different than men's equipment. They're the boards like they don't have the same literage. They are like way appropriate to the surfer's weight, and that's totally great. And they kill it, and they're amazing. I love watching the girls surf because the way I see it, it's like in my head, it's like, wow, these women are so brave because they are facing these dangerous consequence waves with not the same build as a man, and they're killing it. So it's just in a way, it almost makes me like be like, oh shit, like they are like badasses in a different level, right? But
yeah,
I think in the end, it's like we are hurting women by doing this. We are hurting like the women who have like a fair playing field to compete, and now they have like the situation where in reality, second place is the first place because it's so unfair. It's ridiculous.
yeah. It's totally unfair for me. It's totally unfair, and as you said, we don't have an option yet. Like or
Right.
compete amongst the men or don't compete. But this thing about competing amongst the women, that's totally unfair, and we see that. We saw that in Australia a couple months ago in the swimming. Like the guy, like with all the respect, but he was under the 100 ratings, under the maybe I don't know
Yeah,
how low in the
be,
ratings he was, but it
below
was
top
very
100,
low.
below top 100
Below top 100, yeah, below, yeah, that's it. And then suddenly best ever woman
women.
swimmer
Yeah,
in Australia.
yeah.
So like you cannot explain it. That's
And, and
obvious.
and like exactly, and like to summarize it, it's like the best way I can put it is like I understand it's coming from a place of compassion, right? But compassion cannot overrule facts. It cannot
Yeah,
overrule
that's
biology,
it.
cannot overrule science, reality, right? And like we have to make, there's no, we live in a world where nothing's perfect, but we got to make the best we can. And the way it is now, it's totally, it's crazy in my opinion. And if people want to cancel me for this stuff and like think I'm being transphobic, that's, hey, that's your right. But I think I try to be as balanced and you know evidence based as I can be with the little I know. So
It's then it's a new time that we're living. So this is all
it's a
new.
crazy world we're living.
It's
Yeah,
all new, man. It's all new.
yeah,
And
and it
we're
goes to
gonna
like,
have to see what happens, next decade, next years, next I don't know, even after we leave this place
yeah,
and go
this
to
plane.
go yeah go
Yeah,
rest. Things are gonna change again and again and again, and it's
and the
part
thing,
of
this Kuruja, the thing that it's weird too about this topics, it's like some people don't want to even allow other people to talk about it. They want to cancel people. They want to like, and that's what I think is the most dangerous thing because like if we don't talk and have conversations about these difficult topics, there's no progress, right? There's nothing coming forward, and there's nothing like the world's gonna be worse than it is, and we need to be able to talk, and we need to expect the best of people, and like expect the best
yeah
of like people's intentions, and like until proven otherwise, right? And I think everybody wants to see the transgender people being happy and fair and equivalent world, but it's going to take time for us to adapt. There's going to be it's not easy to suit it, right? It's just very difficult.
yeah.
So yeah. All right,
Even next
bro.
generations, they grew up seeing these things, and then these
Yeah, it's
things
going
are
to
gonna
become
become
more
more
common.
yeah, more common since they're kids. And then it's hard because like the canceling thing nowadays, it's so heavy on the internet, and you cannot, as you said,
Oh my
talk
God,
about
it's
things,
ridiculous. Yeah, it's
and
ridiculous.
sometimes they force you to accept their thoughts, and they don't even listen to yours. And this is it's
Or they take
everywhere.
they take a snippet, right? They take a snippet. They
Yeah,
take one headline.
yeah,
Like for example, we have a
yeah.
conversation here,
They
and it's
cut like
very,
frames and
yeah, 30 seconds of something that you said and lose all the context, doesn't care what your whole opinion is, and is
uh,
I hate that stuff so much.
yeah, that's everywhere. Politicals and everywhere you see that. So
Yeah, and
so the
I saw it in Brazil the other day with that guy Monarch. I don't know if you follow that one.
yeah, I don't like that guy. Never liked
No,
him.
he I thought
Even
he was
before
like,
all the things that he
you're right,
said.
right, but I thought like it was a weird one, and like I just want to point it to you, to everybody. Like Monarch was a podcaster in Brazil. He's like same as Joe Rogan, and he
Not same,
said,
but yeah, biggest podcast.
I mean, like yeah, like in the same in the sense of like he's the most popular podcaster
Yeah, yeah,
in Brazil, right? He's on YouTube, and he was trying like in a very stupid way to defend freedom of speech, saying that everyone should be do whatever he wants. And he said something super stupid about like, I think there should be complete freedom. I think if people don't want to have a party supporting whatever the Nazi party, they should have it. And then he was canceled super hardcore for that. And even though
yeah,
he admitted that it was something stupid, and it was something stupid, I think everybody in their same minds agree. but I think he was just trying to prove a point and used a very bad example. Right? But like, if you watch his show or whatever, he has controversial opinions, but it's clear that the guy was not a Nazi. You know, it's clear that was not like that agenda.
Yeah, but he's stupid, man. He's not a
Yeah,
Nazi, but he lacks a
he
lot
lacks
of
he
intelligence
lacked intelligence in that regard, for sure, for
in
sure.
every
But
regard. He's
but
not like I was like he like both guys. They have all the credit to be where they were, you know, to make the success they had. But I always thought the guy was not. He was not good for the show, you know. I was always talking
totally.
shit. You know, I was like,
But
fuck, man, well, how this guy is at these levels of success? You know, I feel like shit when I listen to him. And then when everything happened to him, I was not happy, of course, because we don't want people to get canceled like that. But I was like, okay, I think now the universe saw that there was a mistake there. So just
yeah, no, but my thing is not about even like if he's good or he was bad, which is it's you know, everybody has their opinion. I like Igor, the other host, a lot better. He seems to be a
yeah,
really nice guy,
yeah, sure,
very
yes,
very
for
thoughtful.
sure.
But I think the problem is like how the situation was treated. It's not even so much about him per se. It's about how like can someone take one thing that someone says without a context. Because like yeah, one thing is like for example like I can be a stupid person and say a lot of stupid things, right? But
All of us.
yeah, yeah. But to take one thing out of a story, a point that I'm trying to make, and make it into something that is not what I meant to say, I think that's what this is about, right? It's not about like Monarch per se. I think people were just kind of because of he said other controversial things in the past. People were just waiting for something to frame him and like catch him, right?
That's it. That's
But
it.
but the reason why we should be not okay with it is because if you look at the whole video, his intention was not that. And it was very clear to understand that. And it was very clear to understand, like,
Yeah,
so, you know, it was just blown out of proportion. It was on fucking like Jornal Nacional, which is equivalent to 60 Minutes in America. You know, it's like the guy was
yeah,
like, think about the whole world calling you a Nazi when it was just insane. It was just insane. That's just my opinion.
yeah. That's
Uh,
it.
all right, bro. Wow, I love how we got political, but Brazos is an open space for us to have conversations about all topics, and it evolved this way in this episode, and it's a free range. You know, we are gonna be touching whatever the conversation lead us. We just want to have a very open and free chat, and if it goes to any route that we want, that was our intention from all along,
That's
right?
it. Yeah.
All right, brother. Listen,
And
Molly's
just to
here.
finish
Go ahead.
the heat that I was watching while talking
Oh
to
yeah, who
you,
won it?
Real Wider just took a wave, and then he was overscored, in my opinion, totally overscored, and he won the heat.
Oh, really?
And Mike Rodriguez had a 9.5 and an 8.17, and Rio had that 9 that I watched here was perfect, and then his 8.8, he served kind of horizontal. He did a nice turn at the end, like closeout section was really hard turn. He hit the lip and everything, but the two first turns were he lacked in risk, and I think
Yeah.
he was not an 8.8. He was not that close to the 9 point ride. It should be like an 8.3, maybe a little bit better than Michael Rodriguez with 8.17, but not that high, not 8.8, never. And then he won the heat. Michael Rodriguez lost the heat with almost 18 points.
That's insane. It's insane.
And then the guy on the previous heat that was just seen here, he won the heat with 12 points.
That's like the same situation as João Chumbinho.
Yeah,
It's like
same
João Chumbinho.
thing.
It's like guy who scores like the highest averages, but keeps getting knocked down. All right, bro. I had a puppy that just had an accident here on my floor that I have to clean.
Go ahead, man.
So, bro, thanks so much for the great chat, and
Thank
Stay
you.
tuned,
Sorry
every.
for the distraction here, but that's surfing, so that's
No,
what's
you're
going
distracted.
on.
It's surfing. At least you're distracted by surfing. I'm distracted by
Yeah,
this adorable
this pool.
puppy. Yeah, this golden doodle. Cool, man. Thank you so much, and say your farewell to our audience.
Yeah, see you, and let's hope that Gland starts soon. We
Yeah.
have not so good forecast, so let's see what happens.
All right, bro. Thank you so much. See you all next week.
See ya.
Take care.
You too. Good week.